Things won't turn out perfectly when you want them to. And there is one thing you can do. You can sit home back and let the day roll by. Don't you worry and don't you cry, darling. You know we can't always win. It ain't worth it thinking about what went wrong. If you wanna make it, you'll have to stay strong. You gotta sit on back and let the day roll by. Don't you worry and don't you cry, darling. You know we can't always win. I know it's hard to understand why these things happen. If you take me by the hand, I'll try to make you see how beautiful life can be. If you just believe everything's gonna be alright, whoa, whoa, just hold on tight.
Hello and welcome to Yoga Inside and Out. I'm Batsheva, and in this series we're exploring our chakras, our 7 vital energy centers that sit along our spine and affect our physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual well-being. Today we're going to be focusing on the 5th chakra, the throat chakra, which affects our thyroid, neck, and shoulders. And this is about our expressive self, how we express ourselves in the universe. So when this chakra is open and clear, we express ourselves open and clearly, and in communication, in listening, and also in our creative outlets. So today what we're going to be doing is exploring this whole area with poses and with breath, and also doing a little bit of partner yoga so we can practice conscious communication. So let's begin by centering with breath. Find yourself in a seated position with your spine tall. Press out through your chest points and out through the crown of your head. Good. And let your eyes close and find your breath. Inhaling deeply, letting your belly expand as you inhale, and exhaling completely. Inhaling through the nose, letting your belly expand, and exhaling. Releasing the air out the nose slowly. Slow, even, long, full breath. Using the breath to center you, relax you, and come inside. And especially feel the breath come out the throat as you exhale. So you're channeling the breath out the throat so you can really connect with that throat center. Pressing the air out like a wind tunnel, the back of the throat, pressing air out the nose. And now we're going to move into some warm-ups. Inhaling and exhaling and letting your chin drop to your chest, stretching out the back of your neck, letting that neck open. Inhale the chin up and exhale the chin to the ceiling, letting the front of your neck open. Breathing fully and deeply. And then inhale back to center. And take your right ear and drop it to your right shoulder, and take the right hand and rest it on your head, and gently open the side of your neck. And then release the hand and come the other way, inhaling and exhaling to the left. Breathing evenly and fully, and release that side. And then take some circles with your neck. Letting the neck open, going at your own pace, going the other direction. Great. Should feel really nice to give your neck and throat lots of attention. Great. And inhale and shrug your shoulders to your ears. And exhale and release down. And again, inhale up. And release. Let those shoulders drop far from your ears so you release all that tension that we often carry on our shoulders. And then roll the shoulders back. And then forwards. Releasing, again, all that tension, all the burdens of the world off the shoulders. Take a few more stretches side to side with the neck, ear to shoulder. Good. Letting that whole area open. Wonderful. And then inhale the right arm up, stretching and reaching. Nice deep stretch all the way through the fingertips, letting the whole side open, rotate the wrist, stretch out the fingers, breathe, open, and exhale and release down. Good. Just notice the difference between the two sides. And then come to the other side. Inhaling left, reaching and stretching, pressing out the fingertips, rotating the wrist, breathing, opening your side, and exhale and release down. Wonderful. And let's come to standing. And we're going to just take a moment just to press out the hands, pressing out the chest points. Good. Stretch all the ways to the side and then reach all the ways up, stretching and reaching. So just feeling that nice length in your body, and even come onto your tippy toes, letting the whole body open and stretch. And then exhale, come back onto your heels and come on down into the ragdoll, just hanging and breathing, letting your body just open with the breath, letting gravity and your breath do all the work, letting go of the head, the neck, and the shoulders. And then slowly roll on up, stacking your vertebrae, bending your knees slightly, and coming up. Great. And we're going to do just a few more deep breaths to really open the throat and neck area. It's called the seagull breath. So let your fingertips interlace and rest your chin on your fingertips. And we're going to inhale. It's sort of like a snoring of the breath. We inhale deeply and let the elbows come up to the ears. And we're going to exhale, pressing the air out, bringing the elbows together, and then coming back down. Inhaling up, and then exhaling back. Good. Inhale up. Slowly inhaling the breath all the ways up, and exhaling, tilting your head back, pressing the air out and bringing your elbows together, and then coming back to center. Inhale up and exhale. Great. One more, inhaling all the ways up, exhale, back, and coming back, releasing your hands and feeling the effects of the seagull breath, really opening up the whole upper respiratory and the neck and the throat. Great, now your body should feel all nice and warmed up and ready for our asanas. To practice our open, clear communication and expression, we're going to do some partner yoga. So I have Maggie, a student here, to help us learn some partner yoga, which is a wonderful way to communicate and say what you need. So we're going to begin with Virabhadrasana 2, the second phase of the warrior, doing that together, bringing your feet together and taking a big stance, as big stance as you feel comfortable with your foot. Good, and holding your arms, great. And always communicating with your partner about what you need. We're going to take the outer foot and point it out. Good, outer toes out, beautiful. And now we're going to squat, bringing the outer knee over the ankle. And we want to make sure that our torso is over our hips, so we're doing a big pull here. Good, giving each other a deep, deep stretch. Good, and check out what your partner might need and what you might need. Good. We've practiced this a little bit, so we have an idea what works for us. Breathe and squat. Make sure, again, the knee is over the ankle, chest points are open. Good. And look over your outer hand now. And take a few deep breaths there, feeling this very strengthening, heating pose. Good. And then slowly come on up. Great. And we're going to change sides. Good. So bringing the inner feet together and taking a deep step, grabbing each other's arms, good, and take the outer toes to the side, Good. Nice straight spine. Press out the chest points. Good. Breathe, and then exhale and squat. Good. Nice deep squat. Look over the fingertips that are extended out. Good. Breathe. Excellent. Feeling a nice deep stretch. Knee over the ankle. Good. Breathe. Squat deeply. Good. Pressing down through the pelvis so you get a nice deep squat. Feeling your warrior energy. Excellent. Okay, and we're going to release. So we need to communicate that to each other so we come out together. Great. Wonderful. Now we're going to come into the suspension bridge, which is a nice forward bend. So for the suspension bridge, you want to get a nice distance between each other, and you're lifting up and down through, actually pressing down and back through the tailbone. Looking at your partner. Pull you more? No. Maggie's telling me I'm pulling her too much, so she's communicating what she needs to me. Good. We're getting that nice stretch in the legs. Good. We're able to connect with each other through eye contact. Breathe, pressing out, back and down through the tailbone. And then slowly release. Let's take a moment to feel the effects of those two poses. Great. Wonderful. Yes. Now we're going to come into Vrikshasana, the tree pose. Nice to do a balancing pose together. So first we're going to bring our inner arms up. Great. And then, as in the tree, we take the outside leg and balance. So we're balancing together now. So you want your outer knee pressing back and hip forward. Good. Feeling how nice it is to balance with another person. Feeling really centered. Good. Breathing. Good. You're pressing your palms together. Good. And slowly release together. Excellent. And change sides. Good. Inhaling the center arm up. Good. And taking the outer leg, bringing it up to wherever's right for you. If you want to come down to your knee or your ankle, that's fine. Wherever works for you. Good. Hip back. Great. And when you're ready, you both need to first find your own balance, and then you can connect together. Nice focused gaze straight ahead of you. Breathing fully and deeply. Stretching out the crown of your head, pressing your palms together. Good. Feeling how nice it is to be balanced and centered with another person. And then gently release. Good. Okay. We're going to just do one more pose, which is actually two different poses. Maggie's going to come into Garbhasana, the child. She's going to grab onto my ankles. I'm going to give her a nice stretch in her arms. Good. She's telling me what she needs to keep going, to give her a nice stretch. Good. And I'm going to now walk my hands down her back, hands on either side of her spine. You never want to cross the spine with the hands. So I'm giving her a nice massage on her back, and I'm coming into the downward facing dog pose. So I'm pressing down into her sacrum, and I'm coming into downward dog, so we're both getting a nice stretch. Breathing fully and deeply. I'm lifting out my tailbone, pressing my hands down into her lower back so she gets a nice deep stretch in her lower back. And then slowly walk on up. Again, keeping the hands on either side of the spine. Good. And coming up and releasing. Great. Feeling the effects of that. That was great. Thank you. Thank you. Good. Okay. So now let's come to the floor for Ustrasana, the camel pose, which is a wonderful throat opening pose. And for the camel, you want to have your knees hip-width apart and bring your hands to your lower back. And first, feel the squeeze of the buttocks pressing forward, always to protect the lower back. And we're just going to inhale and bring the chin up as much as you can. And this might be your camel right here. Just feeling the upper back bend and open, feeling the throat open, and then release forward and down. Good. So that might be enough of a bend for you already. If you want, you can also lift your toes up to help support you if you feel a little shaky or rocky. So we want to inhale and come on up, bending back, pressing the sternum up. That's the upper chest up to the ceiling. And then exhale and come on back down. Good. Now bring your fingertips facing up to the ceiling and see if you can press forward slightly with your hands, letting your lower back now get a deep bend. And again, you might want to just stay right here, or you might want to walk your hands to your heels, coming into the full camel pose. Letting the throat and heart open. And slowly walk your hands up. And immediately come back into the child, opening the lower back, stretching the lower back in the opposite direction. Breathing deeply into the lower back. And then come on up. Great. So one thing also about the camel is to make sure when you come back that your thighs are parallel, actually perpendicular to the floor. You don't want to come back this way. That's not the pose that we're doing. You want to have a nice arch in the back in this direction. So let's do camel one more time. Squeezing the buttocks, pressing forward so the thighs are perpendicular, and coming back into the camel as much as you can. And slowly walk your hands up. And once again, immediately come into Garbhasana, the child pose, and feel the effects of the camel. Deep lower back stretch, deep opening in the throat and heart. And come on up and transition to laying on your back with your heels close in to your buttocks for Setu Bandhasana, the bridge, which also massages the throat chakra. So pressing your feet firmly into the floor, we're going to squeeze the buttocks and press the thighs up to the ceiling, roll the shoulder blades underneath you, so you have a nice base of your bridge, and press up, pressing into the feet and the shoulders, and you can feel your chin is tucked in. There's a nice massage to the thyroid here. Breathing, pressing up, squeezing the buttocks, pressing up. Breathe fully and deeply. And then slowly release down, letting your shoulders release and coming down. Good. Hug your knees into your chest, letting the lower back release. Feeling the effects of Setu Bandhasana, the bridge. And another wonderful pose, which is often done with the bridge pose, the shoulder stand or the half shoulder stand, Ardha Sarvangasana. And for the shoulder stand, you want to make sure you're not pregnant or menstruating before doing it. And if you have a lot of weight that you carry in your lower body, you might want to try doing the shoulder stand against a wall or have somebody help support your lower back while doing it. It is an inverted pose and does have quite a few contraindications, so you want to do this gently. So let your legs extend out in front of you. And we're going to inhale and bring the legs up. And this might be as far as you want to go in the shoulder stand. This is a wonderful pose because the blood gets to flow in the opposite direction and gives your feet a break and legs a break. You might want to just stay here. If you feel comfortable, you can let your hands come to your lower back and press into your elbows, and let the weight of your body come into between your hands, your elbows, and on your shoulders. This is the half shoulder stand. So you're looking at your feet and your chin is tucked in. Deep massage of the thyroid and throat. Breathe. Pressing the balls of the feet to the ceiling. Absorbing in the breath. Letting that weight be equally distributed. Again, between the shoulders, elbows, and the hands. Good. And if this is easy for you, you can also let your feet come behind your head and come into halasana, the plow pose. Also massaging the neck and the throat. Pressing into the heels. Lifting the tailbone up. And then let your hands come back to support your lower back again. And you can bend your knees if you want when you come down, or come down with straight legs. But most important is to protect your lower back as you come down. Really hold your hips in your hands and slowly come on down. If your head rolls back, that's perfectly normal. And let the legs slowly release down. Feeling the effects of the bridge and the shoulder stand. And now bring your feet together, flex your feet, and come into the fish, which is the counter pose for those two. So for the fish pose, you want to have your elbows close in to your body, and you're going to arch the upper back, pressing the sternum up and bringing the crown of the head to the floor. And this is a wonderful pose to open the throat. You can really feel the opening in the throat and the heart centers. So the more the crown of the head is on the floor, the more you'll feel that opening. Breathing fully and deeply, arching the upper back, flexing those feet so they're working, and then slowly release down, feeling the effects of Matsyasana, the fish pose. Great. So we're going to do the fish again because it's such an important pose for the throat. So just a few words about the fish. One is that you can do the fish on pillows, which is a really wonderful way to explore the opening in your throat. So you can stack pillows pretty high, actually higher than this, and let your shoulders come to the top of the pillows and just hang off. Then you don't have to do anything, and your head gets to tilt back, and you get to just feel that nice opening here and explore the heart and throat center and feel what that's like for you. Breathing deeply, letting the breath come into the upper chest. Good. And if you want to go a little bit deeper into the fish pose, you can also do the fish by coming into the lotus, if you can, bringing your feet, your hips down, and coming into the fish from here. Again, most important part of the fish is the crown of the head's on the floor. You can do it with extended legs too. And you can use the mudras with your hands, bringing your hands together, fingertips towards your heart, and then extending those arms out, getting a nice extension. Breathing fully and deeply into the throat. And then slowly release the legs. And if you want, you can come into the flying fish using these abdominal muscles. And then release down. Good. And just come into the regular fish for a few more breaths and feel the energy in your throat, letting that whole area open, your area of expression. And then slowly release your head. And as you release, let the head just gently rest on the floor so you're protecting the neck as you release from the fish. And take a few deep breaths and feel the effects of Matsyasana, the fish, once again. Feeling especially the energy in the throat. Great. Let yourself here stay laying on your back in preparation for relaxation and meditation. Come to lying on your back in Shavasana, the corpse pose, in preparation for deep relaxation, Yoga Nidra. Allow yourself to deepen your breath and make any movements in your body before coming to stillness, wiggling the feet, lengthening the legs, breathing into the feet and legs, releasing all holding in the body. Let your hips and pelvis rest on the earth, letting go. Notice your hands. Make any last stretches in the hands or arms. Breathing into the belly, solar plexus and chest. Slow, even, long, full breath. And notice the neck and throat. Let it release. Let the head be heavy on the floor. And let the muscles in your face relax,
letting all expression melt away from your face. Breathing fully and deeply, perhaps letting out a sigh, letting go. And then let go of breath, let go of everything. Just letting your breath come to its natural pace. And receiving Yoga Nidra, deep yogic sleep. Gently deepen your breath and begin to move your feet and hands, wiggling your toes and fingers, letting your head move side to side, lovingly awakening your body, making any movements or stretches, and then let yourself roll onto one side into a fetal position, communicating lots of love and blessing to yourself in this position, and then slowly press up and come to seated.
Come to a comfortable seated position, letting your spine be straight, pressing out your chest points, face soft and shoulders soft, and find your breath. Slow, even, long, full breath. Feeling the breath travel in and out of your throat and in and out the nose. Noticing sensations in your body, feelings, thoughts. What was this exploration of your throat chakra like for you? What did you notice about the energy in your neck and throat? And how do you communicate and express yourself in the world? And how can you communicate more openly and clearly? And most of all, in love and truth. Just notice what comes up for you and breathe into it. And notice how you communicate with yourself. Do you send yourself words of love, expressing love and truth to yourself, starting there? Perhaps letting that be your intention. And take a few deep breaths. And when you're ready, exhale and release a sigh. And allow your eyes to slowly open. Namaste. I honor the light in you. Thank you for this time.